Hi there. If you want a dividend yield of about 8% a year, then Altria may be a good opportunity for you. As you can see, the stock price year to date is up 20%. And this company is still paying a dividend over 8% a year. So this is quite great. If you are pleased with this return, which is higher than the current interest rates of about 5%, you may want to take advantage of this opportunity. Then, the first question you should ask about this company is if the dividend, this dividend over 8% is sustainable in the long term. Because maybe you want to put your money right now in this company and wait over the next 10 years and get a dividend over 8% plus an increase in the stock price. As you can see year to date, the stock price is up 20%. Of course, if you look at the past, over the last 5 years, the stock price is up only or close to 7%. So you also have to know when is the right time to buy this company, to invest in this company. If you invest at the highest peak, your return won't be that great. But still, you get this dividend over 8%, which is sustainable. If you look at the past history of their dividend, you can see that Altria has increased its dividend over the last 10 years from $1.32 to $3.84. And for this year 2024, the dividend has increased from $3.84 to, let me show you here, $4.08. So the dividend keeps growing. This is the most important thing. The dividend keeps growing. So in the long term, your dividend will increase from 8% to 9% or 10% over the next 5 to 10 years. And of course, as I said, if you want a higher return than 8% in dividends a year, then you have to buy this company at the right price. If you pay the right price, your return may be higher than 8%. Because you get this dividend of 8% plus appreciation in the stock price if you know when to buy. That's why in the second video, I'll do a valuation of this company. When is the right time to invest in this company? The fair value of this company. So that video is only available for members. If you want to see it, you can join my channel. So let's continue the analysis. As I said, this company is paying a nice dividend, which seems sustainable. And that's true. They have money to pay that dividend, a lot of money. If you look at their income statement, at their past, you can see that the revenue was over 26 billion in 2020. It has decreased a little to 24 billion, but still they are making over 20 billion in revenue. Be aware of this. And their net earnings went up from 4 billion to over 8 billion in 2023. So this company is making more than 5 billion in earnings. Of course, those earnings their final earnings are distorted. Look at their operating income, which is over 10 billion. This is quite important because as they are making over 10 billion in operating earnings, they are able to pay this dividend over 8%. Then, you also have to look at their balance sheet to be aware of the risk. Because as you can see, their revenue keeps declining just a little, year by year. For instance, last year in 2023, over the last 6 months, the revenue has declined from 10.9 billion to 10.4 billion. It's not a huge decline, but be aware that the smoking rates, let me show you here. The trend is that cigarette smoking rates are going down in the long term. As you can see, over the last 20 years, they have declined from 36% to less than 10%. You have to be aware of this. But still, Altria has been able to raise its prices and increase this nice dividend, which is over 10% right now. That's why you have to be aware of this risk, declining smoking rates, and it also depends on your values. If you really want to invest in a smoking company, because maybe you don't like cigarettes, you want these smoking rates to go lower and lower, and that's great for you. Maybe you don't like those types of companies, but there are some people that like this dividend over 8% and they want to take advantage of it. The good part about this company is that, as you've seen, despite this decline in smoking rates, and you have to be aware of this risk, they are able to maintain their profits. As they have low expenditures, they are able to make these high profits compared to their revenue. And this is quite great. Now, if you look at their presentation, especially their capital allocation, you can see that all of their earnings are used to do more buybacks. As you can see, they completed 2.4 billion in share repurchase program, and they still have 1 billion left for buybacks. And another part of their money, of their earnings, were used for dividends, as you can see here. They paid approximately 3.4 billion in dividends in the first half of 2024. So you can rely on that dividend despite this decline in the revenue. You have to be aware of it, because in the long term, maybe the dividend won't grow that much, will be flat, about 8% or 9%, but still you get that nice dividend. And on top of this, as you've probably seen, if you look at their segments, they have smokable products, oral tobacco, and all other. As these cigarettes products are going down because of the declining smoking rates, they are trying to come up with new products, which are, let me show you here, e-vapor products. So Altria is trying to balance this decline in their revenue from cigarettes and declining smoking rates with e-vapor products. If they can succeed to increase this segment, to bring it to this size of over 10 billion or close to 10 billion, then you are well off. You will get this dividend of 8% a year, plus this continuation in growing the dividend year by year. So that will be even better than the current yield. If they can do that, your dividend is likely to grow even more than this yield of 8%. And of course, also the stock price. Don't expect a huge return, 10x, but between 8 and 10% a year, you are likely to get this return, which is better than the current interest rates. So that's nice. Now, you also have to be aware that this segment, e-vapor, is quite small compared to the other segments, smokable and oral tobacco. You can see the numbers here. 10 billion for smokable products, 1.3 billion for oral tobacco, and all other, which represents the e-vapor segment. And it's quite small, only 22 million. But as you can see, the growth rate is quite high. Last year in 2023, it was about 9 million, and now over 20 million. And if you look at the presentation, you can see the number of devices they've succeeded to sold over the last year. From 1 million, it has increased to 1.8 million. And the consumables, from 10.9 million to 12.5 million. Plus, they also have other brands. You can see here at the end. On Plus, On, and Enjoy. as I said, if they continue to promote their products, maybe they can maintain their revenue and increase their earnings even more in the future. Now, in the second video, I will discuss about the fair value of Altria, when may be the right opportunity to invest in this company and to have a return higher than 8% a year. If you buy the right price, you are likely to get an even higher return. So I'll see you in the next video, which is available only for members.